Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. Cindy here from CLB Craft Creations with another card project for you today. Today we're going to be featuring the Hostess set Because You Care. This card shows the happy birthday, but today we're going to change it with the thank you. We'll see how that turns out if we like that. It's a very basic card. I don't know about you, but I'm constantly looking for things that aren't screaming flowery and girly, but still look very nice. This is, I think, one of those thin lines. I don't know if this looks too feminine just because of your the decorative label punch. Plus we also have the inside that's stamped as well. I don't think that screams girly, but you certainly could change the sentiment and put that into a circle, which, you know what, maybe we'll do that today. We're going to change this up just a little bit. So we're going to start with our Whisper White piece, which measures 4 by 5 1/4, and our Sahara Sand ink. And I'm just going to ink this up. I'm just going to stamp across the bottom. And I'm just lining the points up with the bottom of the cardstock. Okay, and then I just need a little bit more to continue that on. Excuse me, I might have to get my head in here. Okay, perfect. Now we are done with this piece, but we'll go ahead and just set that aside for right now. I'm going to bring in my card base, which is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. Go ahead and give that a fold. I'm also going to be using the hardwood stamp and the hardwood background stamp, which I did not use on my sample. Okay, I'm going to lay this down on my work surface here. I'm going to take my Sahara Sand ink because I want this to be very subtle. If I wanted it to be more pronounced, I would have used the crumb cake. Okay, so I've got that all inked up. And now I'm going to, this is why I wanted to make sure that my card base was folded. Okay, and I'm just going to get my scrap piece ready. Okay, I'm going to line this up. I'm just going to put my card base right down there. Hopefully I got the whole thing. Okay, and I'm just going to cover it, and I'm just going to give it a nice soft rub. Just make sure that you apply even pressure throughout the whole thing. Okay? And then just going to turn it over. Oh, love it. Perfect. Okay, so set that aside. And then we're going to take this and then we're going to run it through our Big Shot with the large polka dots embossing folder. So let me get everything ready and I'll be right back. Got my multi-purpose platform on tab 1, and then I've got my one of my cutting plates, got my cardstock, and I'm just going to line this up. So open that up, and I want my dots raised. So make sure that when you do that, because if we were to put the smaller piece on the front, then the dots would be going in the wrong direction. So I want to make sure I line this up with the top of my card here. I want to try and make sure that they're as even as possible on the top and bottom. Okay, and then I want to make sure that they're lined up on the end as well. That looks pretty good. Okay, and then we're just going to lay that in there. Actually, we'll do it this way. Put my other cutting plate on top, and then I'm going to run it through. Okay, so now I've got the wood grain with the polka dot. So we've got multiple looks and textures and feels, if you will. So it kind of takes away some of that polka dot look, but I think it looks good. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and put in our inside piece, just with some snail. Got my stuff all over the place here. Okay, just center that into the center. Okay, now that piece is done. We're going to take just a scrap of Whisper White, and we're going to use the thank you sentiment with the Sahara Sand ink. We're just going to, I'm going to stamp this twice. Okay, and then hopefully I left enough room for that one. I'm going to stamp it again over here, because I want to see what it looks like with the circle as well as the decorative label. So there's a 1-inch circle, and then the decorative label punch. So the only thing with the decorative label punch is there's a lot more open space on the sides, which is why I was thinking that the circle might look better. So that would definitely give it a more masculine look versus the decorative label punch. So I think I'm going to go with that one. However, I'm also going to grab, I'm going to see if I can grab my larger circle punch. Quite a bit. So I had cut out a 2-inch circle because that's what I had handy, and I didn't like it. I think it's just too much of the crumb cake. So what I decided was just to wrap it with some of the Whisper White Baker's Twine, and that kind of adds a little bit more white, helps bring in the other elements. I've secured that in the front with a piece of Scotch tape. And then I'm just going to spread these out. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, so I also sponged around the edges of this 1-inch circle with the Sahara Sand. And now I'm going to take a dimensional and I'm going to stick it right in the middle. And then our card will be done. And I actually really like how it turned out. So this is definitely, even with the Whisper White twine, I think it still looks pretty neutral in terms of a card. This, again, this could be iffy. You know, I don't know. And then we've got this cool little design in the back with the twine, which I thought looked really cool. So there you go. There is 2 different types of fairly neutral cards. Again, you could have done this with a thank you or birthday as well. You could have done this one with just the thank you. So, but I love how they both turned out, and I hope that you'll give them a try. Thank you again for joining me today. Please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought. And I'll see you guys next time.